Was saying you might switch to GeoVision. Yeah, I like their software. It's a lot better than... When people say they like Hikvision NVRs, I imagine that they've never used the GeoVision. Or that they just enjoy torturing themselves when it comes time to catch a thief. That, I can't stand using Hikvision. I like their cameras. I think their cameras are great. The NVR software... Nope. I'd rather let the thief shoot me in the dick than try to search for him on a Hikvision. Oh. Ha. Indeed, Richard Moore. As long as I can afford it, AK Ultra, which is probably not at all. How much of the construction fund you think went to Pepsi? About 20%. Okay, so today... Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be getting started on a MacBook that's not powering on. Here we have what looks like an A1707. This is a 2016 through 2017 15-inch MacBook Pro. Let's get it under the camera, open this thing up, and see if we can get it to work again. I don't know, Cybergenic. I imagine when it's ready or when it's done. One of the two from above. Either when it's ready or when it's done. But not until it's done. This case really doesn't want to come off. I hate these cases. Not just for all the dirt that winds up getting inside of them. They're disgusting. But it's also they crack really easily. And then the customer says, "You cracked my case. I want you to order me a new case that's full of dirt." Ugh. It's gross. Hate these cases. What is your opinion about how the floor is being leveled, Chris? I don't really think I'm even qualified to have an opinion, honestly. There are so many people that showed up that had their own ideas on how to do it, and I would say, okay, cool. So which way is the way that's the most proper? Of all the ways to do it, what's the proper? And then they'd say, well, you may not want to do that, but it's this way. And I go, why wouldn't I want to do that? And they would just look at me and they go, but they wouldn't tell me why. And then, so I don't really know. And then I'd say, okay, what was the way you would do it? And he goes, I would do it this way. Okay, so what is the quote for that? Here's the quote for that. Okay, cool. I'm not going to lowball you. I'll pay you to do it. And then they just never show up. So I think, I think like I really have no idea because I'm not a fucking contractor. It would be like if one of my customers said, what do you think of how Lewis is approaching your no backlight on your Air by going after the feedback trays first? Like, that's pretty much where I am there. I have no fucking clue. I have genuinely no idea. Like, not even the remotest clue. Because I don't do that stuff. I don't even hang paintings on my wall. I don't put my own... When I tried to put a wall mount for my TV in the office, I wound up destroying half of the wall. And I was almost into atomic wings. Like, I genuinely have no idea. It's just so far outside of my scope of what I know that I can't have an opinion on it. Because there's just no opinion to be had. I can talk more about the experience of trying to find someone to do the floor than I can about the actual floor. The one thing that gets me is everybody who said, no, you got to use self-leveling concrete. That's the way to do it, self-leveling concrete. I call up somebody who says that they should do it that way. Oh, cool. What does it cost? This much. Okay, cool. I'm not lowballing you. You want to come pick up a check? Let me know when you're ready. Crickets. That's the experience I had. It's all the people who said, this is the way you need to do it. When I say, okay, here's the amount of money. That no lowball and no bargaining. Here's the amount of money that you wanted. Here, they don't show up. So I just, people have said, well, that's no way to say what the right... You can't say that the self-leveling is wrong just because all the people that said it was the right way didn't want to do it when you offered them the full price to do it. My opinion, and this is the opinion of a lowly, uneducated schmuck that doesn't know anything about construction, is that the person who showed up and explained, here's why we're going to do it this way, here's why the other ways wouldn't make sense, here's what you would have to do if you want to do it that way, and here's why that's the person that I'll trust. And you never know. In a month from now, I may wind up looking at that and saying, damn, I was a fucking stupid schmuck. That wasn't right. And then I'll have learned something. But for now, I think they're doing their job. He showed up when he said he was going to show up. They're doing what they said they were going to do. It's really too early. I'm sure by the end of the month, I'll either be really, really happy with them, or I'll be suing them. It's usually one or the other. I don't really have in-betweens. I'll either be really happy and go, God damn, this place looks great, or I'll go, I'm suing you to get every dime back. Like, it's one or the other. But why permanently fix some building owner's floor? Because I can't buy a building. So I would love to have my own building, but unfortunately I can't. I wasn't able to raise more than like 5 or 10% of 15% of what it would cost to do this place proper. Yeah, I think I raised 15% of what it would cost to do this place properly. I'm pretty sure that buying a building is going to be outside of my budget for the time being. I have many people that say, "Why don't you just buy a building?" And it's like very, very helpful suggestion. Very helpful suggestion. Thank you very much for. Okay. Okay. So, anyway, let's move on to this. So, we have a MacBook in front of us. We're going to do what we always do on this machine. First things first, I see something that makes me want to cry. I see something here that makes me want to cry. This makes me puke. Are you ready? So, this computer has a connector put on over the screw. So as you can see, on the right side is the screwing this cover over the connector. On the left side, they put the screw in first and then this over it. That actually ruined me. That kind of set a bad tone for the stream. I'm really sad now. Wow. Okay. Something tells me this MacBook is going to have more wrong with it than what is usually wrong. Can anybody guess why I'm making the assumption that there's going to be more wrong with this MacBook than what's usually wrong? For buying a small building for Oreo. Thank you very much, Marseille. Thank you very much. So, what I like to do with all of these machines, firstly, is I like to unplug the battery so that when I plug in the charger, I can see the amperage that the board is taking by itself. I can get a nice isolated measurement of just what the board's taking. And I plug my USB-C amp meter into my USB-C charger before I plug it into the MacBook. This is going to tell me a couple of things. How many amps is the board using? It's also going to tell me if the charge controllers are activating the CD32, are activating the USB-C charger and getting it to turn on. And on this board, as you can see, it's taking 5 volts at 20 milliamps, which means that the machine is not activating the USB-C charger. This can put out 5 volts to charge a GoPro, 9 volts to charge a LG G8 phone, or 20 volts to charge a MacBook. And those chips are supposed to communicate with this. Thank you, David Stahl. I don't drink coffee, but I will put that towards the new store fund. Thank you very much. So, where was I? So this chip, the CD3215, and the ones on the other side of the board, they're going to communicate with the charger, but they're not able to. So let's try and figure out why they're not able to. We're just going to open this thing up. For the Pepsi fund. No Pepsi. Why not disable that port? Why not just disable that port? Okay, how? Tell me how. How do I do that? I think I stumped him. I stumped him good. For the new store, says Alexander Wall. Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Okay. Where the hell did my T8 go? T8. You're T8. Couldn't have just run away. Oh, where'd you go? Did Oreo steal my T8 screwdriver? Oreo? Oreo? Did David steal my T8 screwdriver? Oh, I have this one. This is kind of oversized. I have... probably Oreo. I found a site with extremely discounted Aeron shares. Oh, I'd love to see it. Post it if you can. Or give me an idea of what I should be Googling if YouTube doesn't let you post a link in the chat. What's the main difference between Mac and PC by fixing components? I don't understand the question, I'm sorry. I want to do an EFI hack to replace the Apple sound with hello, welcome. That would be fun. I think that just killed the MacBook, folks. That just killed a MacBook. Let's open up the schematic in board view so I can show you what that is. Watch as the Paul Daniel software opens it vertically. So it looks like we've got corrosion on this resistor. That's PP3V3 UPC-XA-LDO, so that's an LDO voltage that's created by the CD3215, which is the USB-C port controller. And that is going to be for a data line. That's a pull-up resistor on a data line. And that's a data line that is going to speak to a JTAG connector. So that doesn't exist. Now, I don't think that resistor having corrosion on it really matters, because that's a pull-up resistor for a data line for something to speak to something that doesn't actually exist, because that JTAG connector is not populated on the board. A JTAG connector is going to be something like this, where you could have a connector and you could plug some external thing in to communicate with the board. So you could see that they put pads on the board for it here, but it's not actually used for anything, so it doesn't really matter. What really matters is that that's an indication of corrosion being under the CD3215 itself. So if we try to clean that up, you're going to notice that this board is far too heavily populated with pubes from my Q-tip and alcohol to actually fix or get rid of that number of pubes. So we're going to use the X-Acto and see if we can scrape away some of those pubes. And I'm going to give this a light reflow with a little bit of flux, just a tiny amount, not too much. We're looking to conserve flux. So I hear that Paul Daniels adjusted the pricing of his software from $79 to $149, so that this way he can hire a full-time developer with the extra money to fix all the bugs in the software. I'm happy that he's made that decision. That thing does need full-time bug fixing. Now that resistor to the left is nasty, but you have to keep in mind that the purpose of that resistor is to communicate with an empty JTAG connector that has no reason to exist. So you'll excuse me if I don't think that resistor has a lot of purpose on this board. Given that its sole purpose for existing is going to be to allow this chip to communicate with a port that doesn't even exist. Now I know there may be some purists out there that are aggravated that I'm taking that data line and I'm not putting it back where it belongs. And if that's the case, if you would like that your CD3215s on your MacBook after spill damage continue to have access to a data line that goes to an empty board connector that doesn't do anything, you might just in fact be looking for another repair service, because mine may not be the repair service for you. That being said, let's see if this turns on with our reflow. Might as well be nice and make that cap a little nicer on the outside. I'm not going to be able to get to the bottom of that actually without removing the cap or removing the CD3215. So we'll leave that for later. I'm going to let the board rapid cool using rapid cool technology. Ah. So you can see here we have a green light. We have, I'm so used to saying that. We have 20 volts in the charger, and it's using 1.4 amps, which means this is booting up. So I'm going to plug this in to a screen so that you can see that we're getting an image and it's booting up. And just to trigger some of you out there that are die-hard perfectionists, I am not going to put the pull-up resistor back on the board that allows the machine to communicate with a non-existing port. You know, I've actually had customers in the past call me and say, after you fixed my motherboard, my machine was heavier. And they were serious. They would... It's like... Yeah, I used about 6 pounds of lead solder when I reballed your SMC. That's what... But I'm curious if this customer calls me and says, Lewis, you know, since you worked on my MacBook, I noticed it's a little bit lighter. Did you put all the resistors back? No, I made it thinner, bro. Apple tries to make the shit thinner every single year. I just save them 0.000000000 micrograms. I will not put it back. Delete 1, 2, 3. I'll ask Paul about this, actually. Paul, would you put back a resistor that goes to that allows the CD3215 to speak with a JTAG connector that's not soldered to the board?
Yes.
Why?
Does it go anywhere else?
Literally goes to the JTAG.
Why was it there?
Because Apple intended to put a JTAG there so that they could program the CD3215 using some machine at the factory that clearly doesn't even work or exist because there's no JTAG. There's pads for a JTAG connector, but there's no JTAG.
There's things on these boards that are not notated on the schematics. I wouldn't be surprised if that actually is running somewhere else.
But it works.
You might be missing Thunderbolt something. You might be missing HDMI now or something like that.
Let's check Thunderbolt and HDMI. Apple schematics are always correct, though.
No, they're not.
This machine uses an ISO 6259.
They're way wrong.
What do you think, Oreo? You want the pull-up?
Oreo.
Oreo.
Kitty cat. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty.
Oreo. 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 He doesn't want to meow.
That guy was really annoyed with me.
Which one?
The one that didn't like me paying attention to Oreo.
Why?
He was really annoyed at that and my coughing. Really annoyed.
Yeah, he can suck a dick.
Yeah, he can go kill himself.
That's not... That's... Yeah, maybe. As you can see, it boots. Privacy. Madison Seating. Oh, those aren't discounted chairs. They always have those chairs for like $530. They call it open box. There's no such thing as open box because people open boxes to use shit. I always laugh when I see something being sold as open box. Put the resistor back or else. No. How can I help you? Yes. Those we don't have screens for at the moment just because they're ridiculously expensive. I'm sorry. No. Alright, bye-bye. Honestly, I would just go to Apple for that specific one. Usually they're a ripoff, but in that case, they're gonna. Oh, they're one of the few people that'll give you a good part at the prices you're gonna be paying for. I would just go to Apple for that specific one case. I'm sorry. Bye bye. Okay, so this boots. So it looks like we had corrosion by a CD3215. We rehotted it, and it works. And that really seems to be all it was. And there was the wrong screw in the... It was the right screw in the right hole, but wrong order. They put the screw and then the connector, and then that blew my mind. But either way, this works. So we're going to put this through a nice ultrasonic cleaning process. After the ultrasonic cleaning is done, we will reassemble, test, and bring back to the customer. Are any of you surprised at just how little liquid it takes to kill a MacBook? That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. This video is brought to you by our sponsors at store.rossmangroup.com. Thank you for supporting our sponsors that help keep us in business. On store.rossmangroup.com, you can find chips, supplies, ultrasonics, flux, soldering stations, and more. With 4.9 stars on Shopper approved. Same-day shipping from New York. By the way, for the person who said they sent me a Twitter message, I'm not quite sure who you messaged because I do not have a Twitter. I deleted my Twitter in the beginning of the year. So, whoever you're messaging, that definitely ain't me. Shark with manners, it's something I don't feel like wasting time even discussing. Okay. Thank you, D. Kizilkaya. Are you going to charge Lewis for licenses? No, I already blocked access to Paul Daniels software in the new store. We're going to image the operating system that I have on this machine to all the other ones so that I can pirate his software and not pay for it. I'm not giving one more red cent to that vertical video Australian. I got to ask Dave Jones at EV Blog about this. Does he orient boards on the desk vertically when he works on them? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. But if he does, then at least I know it's not a Paul Daniels thing, and it's just that that country in its entirety is just out of their fucking mind. But that could be the case. Because you're dumb, C3PU, that's why. If you were smarter, I'd be able to use self-leveling concrete. That's why I can't use self-leveling concrete. I'm assuming you're trolling. I assume you're not asking that seriously. I'm gonna make... Okay. And I actually plan on doing a video where I cut out all the 1-minute snips in that live stream, and I'd like to just title it, "Why Are You Not Using Self-Leveling Concrete?" and just have it repeat. But it has to be a theme. There has to be a meme theme to it. We have to add some shit to it. Like maybe each time you ask, you say it faster. Each time you say, huh?
Adam yelling cat.
What's that?
U8900.
Oh,
Not U8900.
too easy.
Not U8900. No screen.
Oh, this is the U8900 you did that doesn't work.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. All right, I was going to do this one, but I'd much rather work on what Paul claims is the hard queue and prove that it's easy. All right. Ready, everybody? 1, 2, 3. Action. Hey, everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be working on an 820-3332 that does not appear to be seeing the screen. This is one of the... Hello, kitty. Have you cleaned his butt? He pooped again.
No, I did not.
So this machine is... What are you up to next?
I don't know. Something new. More customer replies.
Can you do customer reply?
Yeah.
Or actually, can you add the stuff that Dan got to the website? Like, there's boxes up front of like the iPhone cables and shit. Like, they need pictures and all that good stuff.
I thought he did that.
Well, then it wouldn't still be up there. He added one of them, but there's another set. If we got in any stuff that we're supposed to be selling, add it to site. And Pet Oreo. It'll make the YouTube commenter angry.
Look, I'm paying attention to Oreo. I'm paying attention to Oreo. Look at him.
Yeah, that guy can take this and shove it up his ass. Somebody got really mad on that live stream that I was paying attention to Oreo. Paul was paying attention to Oreo. Okay. Let's do this again. One moment. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today, I'd like to disprove one of the major myths and untruths that you hear at the store, which is that Paul doesn't get easy items in his queue. Paul actually gets the easiest of all the items in his queue. He just gets confused. So let's take a look over here at this machine that Paul had given up on. This is a 820-3332 board with a standard U8900 problem. Now, Paul did the standard U8900 thing to do, which is he touched up the solder joints, clearly not using enough flux since I can't see it from here, and it's not giving him a screen. So we're going to go through and troubleshoot this. So the first thing that I would usually do, if it's not giving me a screen, before I do anything else, is we have to know if we actually fixed the U8900 problem. U8900 is the chip that's going to power the graphics chip. So we are going to see if we get 0.9 volts of GPU vCore. Because if we haven't, then there's no reason to troubleshoot anything around the screen area since we're expecting to get 0.9 volts to the GPU. We need 0.9 volts to the GPU. So we open this up, get it on the table, maybe move where this is a little bit. Now when I turn this on and ask it to go to an operating system, what does it do? We're going to turn on our power supply software. It's going to allow me to show you how many amps it's taking on the screen. We're going to turn on the Paul Daniels multimeter software. That's going to allow you to see the voltage on the GPU, whatever shows up on my multimeter, as well as allow us to make fun of Paul Daniels' buggy software. So we're expecting 0.9 volts for GPU. When we turn it on, let's see what we get. Paul is a monster. He's a savage. He keeps the DC-in board screwed into the computer with the DC-in board unplugged from the board. What a troll. That's absolute savagery. Paul, you keep the DC-in board screwed into the computer but not plugged into the board.
Yes, because I use my own DC-in board.
You're a savage.
I don't trust their DC-in board.
Maybe their DC-in board is why it's not giving you a GPU.
I use a 1502 DC-in board.
What?
Yes, because it has a longer reach.
You want a longer reach?
I want a longer reach DC-in board.
You want a longer reach around?
No, I did not check CPU vCore or GPU vCore. Are you checking GPU vCore?
That's the first thing to go. Okay, so it's only taking 600 milliamps, which, keep in mind, this is a quad-core Ivy Bridge processor, kind of old, and discrete GPU. This is 650M. 600 milliamps ain't enough. So this means that GPU vCore is not present. No GPU vCore. We're getting 0.1 volts. Actually, we're getting 0 volts. Paul Daniels' software is simply drunk. Okay, never mind. I take it back. My multimeter said 0.1 volts. So 0.1 volts is not 0, but it's also not 0.9, which means that it's not an issue where the machine doesn't want to turn on GPU vCore. It wants to turn on GPU vCore. It's simply not doing it. So there's a couple of reasons that it could be happening. And the first one of all, I imagine, is going to be that there's not enough flux on U8900.
There definitely was not, according to you, enough flux.
So we're going to see how much flux is on U8900. And if we can fix this by using the proper amount of flux, Paul is going to have to level the new store with self-leveling concrete.
Because, it's totally wrong to do it with wood.
All right.
What were you thinking?
Let's see if this works. Because if this... let's take a look at the U8900 area and get an idea of what's going on there. Now, one thing that I think is important to keep in mind is that in an older video, I think it was actually not an older, really that old, it's a video I did yesterday, I didn't talk about the issue being just with this chip. I talked about it being a fault line, right along this section of the board is where everything starts to get funky solder joints. So it's not just the chip, it's this. It's whether it's along here, here, here. That's for an X-ray machine to decide. But I know it has to be something vertical, Paul Daniels' favorite orientation, for the fact that many of the U8900 boards I've gotten in the past have also had issues with the RAM. So it has to be something that goes down this way. Can't be just something that happens that way. So let's take a look at everything in that area and see if there's anything funny going on around the chip. So it looks like we have a pube. A pube would not cause our problem. That pube is innocent. Although it does not want to leave. That is... The first thing to do, of utmost importance, is put the right amount of flux prior to any rework. Now, I want to actually melt the components around U8900, not just U8900. I'm also going to remove that U8900. No, Jeff M., I never made one. If I made one, Paul Daniels would just steal it and include it in his paid software that he's just doubled the price on. I'd rather not have the information at all than know that Paul Daniels has it. Gregory says, here is some dough to send to Paul out to St. Mark's Place to get some Dunwell donuts and some greenies for Oreo. Thank you, Gregory. We will get Oreo some greenies. We just have to figure out a way to store it here so that the mouse can't get to it. But I'm pretty sure the mouse is not going to want to come in here anymore due to Kitty. Called earlier and asked Paul how much flux to order. He said 1 tube per cap removal. I don't think keep... That's right. Please confirm. 1 tube is not enough for cap removal. One tube per cap removal is not going to do it. Nice and crooked. Sometimes surface tension puts the chip where it should go. Sometimes surface tension is lazy like Oreo the cat. This is one of those times. Get rid of the rusty looking thing in that probe point. Gone. This board is now the proper amount of flux on its surface. Hello. What can we do for you? I don't have a battery tester for that machine, no. I'm sorry. I'd need a known good working of that machine in order to be able to answer that question to plug into, which I don't have. You'd really just have to find you just have to find another machine that battery fits in to plug it into. No, because the thing is the machine communicates with the battery. So there's more than just testing the cells in the battery. You have to see if the battery itself is actually communicating properly with the computer to turn on. Because modern batteries don't just supply 8 volts and that's it. They have communication circuits with the computer. And if that doesn't work, then the battery will be fried. So even if I can see that the battery has voltage on it, that doesn't necessarily mean it'll actually work with your machine. So long story short, you're kind of screwed. Buy another one. If it works, then you have your answer. If it doesn't work, then from another seller. If it doesn't work with another seller, that's fairly unlikely that 2 batteries from 2 different sellers are both going to be dead. That means that something's screwed up inside the computer. Yep. Yep. You should be able to use it on AC in that case. No worries, have a good day. And this is why you don't answer calls after hours, because they're always, always, always a waste of time for someone that doesn't believe you, which is lame. So, the first thing I notice here is that after redoing that section, we don't get 0.1 volts, we get 0.9 volts, which is what GPU vCore is supposed to be. So GPU vCore has been restored to its proper level. The problem now, obviously, is that the screen still appears to be blank. Strange. So next up, I'm going to see if I have power on the inductor that's powering the screen. and it looks like I don't. So we've solved one problem, but we still have no screen. Even though we have no screen, it doesn't necessarily mean that doesn't mean that we haven't changed anything, because we got 0.9 volts. It just means we may happen to have two separate problems that are confusing. So let's unplug the SSD here. I was just curious if it would do anything different if it was booting into an OS, but first I'd at least like to see 5 volts on the screen first. So the screen cable itself looks fine. We'll reseat it once. I believe I seated the cable fine the first time, but I'm being a customer here and I'm hoping that it's the cable. Like, this is what customers do. They hope it's the easy thing so that it's free, but I know it's not going to be that. I just don't feel like chasing some other fucked up problem. So it looks like that is giving me nothing. Yeah. So again, we still have GPU vCore. We have done something good here. So now we have to figure out why it doesn't want to detect a screen. You fucking sack of shit. Good piece of Mac. You fucking Mac. Now usually by the DC inboard a filter will be ripped off, but I don't see anything there that looks ripped at all. Something on the display port lines. Could just be a bad screen as well, or a bad screen cable that's not communicating properly. Let's see what it does with a different screen. Filters look fine. Termination for... Yeah, all that stuff looks good. Try a different display assembly. .9 volts on screen. I mean on GPU. 0 on screen. Well then. Hello, Ed. Says 0 volts. What the fucking piece? Alright, let's see how far this fault line goes. Everyone say hello to Ed. Ed is going to tell me how to make this work again. So Ed, why am I getting voltage on GPU vCore but no image on screen? I thought that would fix my problem. That's the mux. Oh, fuck it. Let's make sure CPU vCore is nice as well. So those two were the DisplayPort muxes. Okay. After this, this is going to be one of those jobs where where it could be literally anything. So at this point, I would confess that Paul's queue is actually difficult if we get no change. You're doing the semi-mindless rehot, bro. Wantomek knows my dance. That's my jam. Stream Theater, Denver, Reich. CPU vCore, GPU vCore, non-activating screen. Resistance on L9000. I'm checking 5 volts before L9000 dust, dude, not after. So even if L9000 was destroyed, I should still have something over here. Yeah, I never check for... I don't check for 5 volts on screen over here. I check over here. Check immediately after powering board on. You're gonna make me do some chopstick shit, aren't you? You're gonna make me do this. Alright. If this is a prank... It spikes to 0.5. Yeah, it spikes to 0.5 and that's it. That's how we measure, baby. You're the little bastard producing the 5 volts over there. I could check an external monitor, but that would require looking around the store to find a DisplayPort to HDMI adapter, and that's probably going to take me longer than it would take to replace every single piece of this board individually. PP5 ESO LCD, I don't think that's a sub-rail. I think that's just straight up PP5 ESO. Just going into U9000. I have to ask you if you saw my email regarding a new merchandise opportunity. I blame your chat for corrupting my innocent mind. No, I probably haven't. Okay, actually I just saw it. Yeah, you sent that at 4:55. Yeah, I'm up to 440 unread, so I'll likely get to it soon. And I also have a bunch of unread emails from Ed Boss. Which, since I know you're not blocked because you're in my chat, I'm just hitting delete. Alright, delete. Gee, there's so much junk on here. Protect your PP bus looks funny. Oh, a PP bus condom. That's good. I like that. Okay. So. Yeah, but I can't sell that shit, man. What are you, fucking crazy? You know what's gonna happen if somebody winds up having a child out of wedlock with a condom they purchased from me? They're gonna make me responsible for the $250,000 it costs to raise a child? Oh, hell no. I do, Paul, but I usually don't get to it before somebody asks me if I got to it. Oh. I try to filter out the stuff that I need to do immediately. Okay. Yeah, so this one... PP5 ESO LCD. That's just PP5 ESO, I believe. LCD power enable's probably not there. I don't wish to be made responsible for somebody's kid that they had out of wedlock because they wore a PP bus condom. Also, can you imagine the branding, how that would hurt the brand? If I sold condoms and somebody wound up breaking it because they were having, like, anal too rough or something? Nah, I can't be associated with that. If my quick hot air station fails, maybe you fuck up a cell phone, you know? This. No LCD power enable. PP5E is there, but there's no LCD power enable. That comes from the Mux, which makes this board junk. I mean, technically, it could be... Like, it's one of those things where this is going to be an it could be until the end of the earth. Yeah, so... No, you're in it. Wait. No, you. LCD power enable comes from... yeah, you come from a Mux. Yeah, GTF. Now, granted, it could be that the Mux doesn't see the screen because one of the DisplayPort filters is fucked up, like this. So any one of these DisplayPort lines could have a bad cap or filter, but I know what's going to happen after I replace all those. It's still going to be no image. How about a comment that says it ain't small, I'm just using it wrong? No condoms. I'm not selling a condom. That's going to fuck up my brand when somebody winds up having a kid they didn't intend to have, and then they blame the rest of their life and the fact that they're with a woman they hate on me. I think it would be funny to sell a condom with Paul's face on it, smiling. I don't know why, but that would just... It's like the thumbs up that he gave at the ends of one of the aggravating border pair videos that somebody keeps memeing in Discord. I think Das Dude gave me this board. Das Dude set me up. Oh, you couldn't see that. Sorry, I forgot to change cameras. It's going over the LCD connector. Das Dude set me up. Yeah, this is going to be open-ended waste of time. Totally open-ended waste of time. Junk. Who knows, Justin Brown? That's a mystery.
Which cash am I supposed to flush to get them to show up on the
It probably phones home your credit card information, Dastu.
No, no, no. No.
Fine, I'll put it in sell customer.
Which cache do I have to flush to get the stuff to show up on the front page?
What?
Which cache do I need to flush?
I don't know.
You don't know?
The stores?
Yeah.
Oh, just flush all of them.
All of them? Okay.
Yeah. It should be just select all on the button.
It's not coming up.
Are there any other items that we ordered? Because Hi got a bunch of stuff on AliExpress. Rip that board. I'm just going to finish sandwich here and then get to the next one. Where is Oreo?
Right here in his desk chair.
Oh, he has his own chair now. Wait, did you put? You had to put him there.
No, he climbed up there.
How? Did he jump or was it like like a?
Kind of half-ass jumped. It was definitely a half-ass jump.
Why no? You can stay, Oreo.
No,
He got scared.
he smells like poop.
Does he?
Yes,
Does he need to be cleaned?
probably.
David?
Why won't they show up?
Let me see what you did. Is it not in the front of the store?
No, it's not.
Do you know which category goes to
be
which
sale.
line? Because there's so many. Look at how many
It
sales.
should just be this.
There's new products, more products, even more new products. It's so dumb.
They put in special style stuff too.
I really should have documented that better.
How do you
Oreo.
find out which one is which? Because I know it needs to be number 319. That's what this is. 319.
You have to look at the index page.
Where's that?
Well, you have it edited because it actually disappears when you edit it because of Magento. Here, go to CMS. Pages.
No, the home page. Yeah, this one you mean?
The real homepage. Which one is the real homepage?
Home page 3.
How do you know?
Because I edit it all the time.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say.
But
It doesn't tell you all that stuff.
yeah,
That's right. No, never mind. It's there.
you just can't.
It gives you a category
touch it,
number.
That's all. See, ID 319. So how do I find out which is ID 319? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, you go to catalog, categories, manage categories. Now click on one. And there you go.
It would, 319. That's it then.
Yeah.
So it should be there now.
There's
It's
an
still not
yeah.
there.
There's an Oreo over here. Do you see Oreo?
Hey Oreo.
Is he cute?
He can be. I mean, he's not right now because he stinks. The stinky cat is not a
I just cleaned him an hour ago. Paul, I need you to make sure that David does his job before he leaves.
Is it under index management?
You see?
Oh.
Paul.
I want to clean the kitty. Ew. Paul should clean the kitty. Why should I clean the kitty?
Because we had to get a mouse because his desk had mice on it. It wasn't
What?
my desk that had mice on it. It was Paul's desk that had mice on it.
You promised you was gonna take care of Kitty.
Look at this. Look at this. It's still not here. Why is it not here? I flushed all these. I did this one. I did
Index
this one.
management? Go system.
Index management?
Index management. Select all and then submit, reindex. Maybe use no, but it said that there was no reindex required.
Maybe it doesn't know that that's a new product yet.
The Magento sucks so many balls.
Are we getting a new Magento site or are we getting a new something site?
Well, the first he was going to do that, then he figured out it was a nightmare, so he wants to go to WooCommerce, and it's still not there. Wait, what if you just refresh? Are you refreshing Chrome like Control F5 or just normal F5?
Just hitting the refresh
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Try Control F5. Control F5 gets rid of your Chrome cache for that page. Do you have function keys since this is a Mac?
Yeah, it's function control F5. And it's still not there.
Is the product enabled? Let's see.
Yes, the product is enabled.
I don't believe you. I believe this is an invisible product.
Enabled.
Click. Mechanic.
Enabled.
Wait. Country of manufacture, China. Brand doesn't exist. Catalog and search is visibility. Well then. Oh, go to stock maybe? Inventory?
Inventory is in stock.
And you have to uncheck use config settings. Save. Now redo cache and see what happens.
Oh.
This
And here-
website is such a fucking piece of shit. This is such beyond shit.
Invalidated again.
What if you just flush Magento cache rather than submit? Hit flush. Or you could disable it temporarily.
This disable the caption system? There,
Yeah.
That re-enabled it.
Control F5. That front picture is so fucking cheesy.
That's old. What room is this with Jessa?
That is the. What is that? That's a Holiday Inn hotel in Mendon.
What, was she permanently renting the space?
No, she rented it for a week, and they made it obvious that. Goddamn. What happens if you
The
just?
one that he put in there is there.
What happens if you spam the shit out of every category? That's what I would do at this point. Porio cat. Okay, back to my office. There's no camera in the front to switch to, I'm afraid. Paul was sitting in the front of the store. That's very far away. And I don't have a camera up there. Okay. Alright, let's get ready for the next computer. Yeah. Hey everybody, how's it going? So here we're going to be working on another MacBook. This is an A1708, A1706, I might correct myself, and the touch bar will not turn on. So let's confirm that that is indeed the case with this machine. We're going to turn it on and see what's wrong with the touch bar. As you can see, we get an apple on the screen, so it does turn on, but nothing shows up in the touch bar. Now, I do believe that on these machines, I actually have to log into the operating system in order to get touch bar. Is that correct?
Yes, or you can go into the guest user or the lost password.
Where's
lost
lost?
password thing will turn on.
Where's lost password
You
thing?
wait for it to show up and then hold down the power button until it turns off and turns back on. But you have to wait for it to say if you forgot your password. Oh, okay, that too.
Does this count?
Yeah, once it gives you the new screen, the escape key should show up.
Is this like that secure guest mode shit where it takes 20 minutes to boot into it?
Yes.
That's so frustrating.
It's a little bit shorter than that, but yeah.
Catherine is correct. I would sooner drink apple juice from an apple store. So this is the screen where I'm supposed to be able to see the touch bar?
Yeah, the escape key should show up there.
And there's... Alright, let's open this thing up. Thank you, Mr. Mark.
This guy stopped by early today. Really nice guy from England, fan of the channel.
Oh, cool.
And he was on a cruise and it just stopped in here for a couple hours.
A cruise.
Have a good weekend.
See ya. How do you put outlets in the office everywhere?
How?
Yeah.
We're gonna do it outside of the wall, just run conduit and junction boxes all the way around the place. Nice and easy.
Have a good weekend, Paul. I'll see you tomorrow. Have you cleaned Oreo yet?
No.
Clean Oreo! You have to clean Oreo. I took your U8900 board. I think Paul is trying to get out of cleaning Oreo's asshole. Nobody at the store wants to clean Oreo's asshole.
No, it's poop.
We're gonna make that. Where's my blue pry tool? Where are these things? Here we go.
Juice, green poop.
So let's see if we can figure out what it is that may be causing this machine to not have a touch bar. Clean Oreo's ass, David. He's meowing for you.
No,
You have to clean his butt before you go today.
I cannot clean that.
You must clean the butt.
Your butt stinks. Smells like poop. Listen up.
This looks fine. I agreed, Ed. A little disappointed that they put together pieces from a used panel, but what? Eh, what to do? Come on, give me the forgot this password screen. Testing touch bar is so annoying. Waiting for this to boot is very boring. No touch bar still. Well, this is clean, so most likely it just needs a new touch bar. I can remove the board just to see if that's the case. I still can't believe somebody mailed this in for just the touch bar. Like, my laptop has, it has this Pantone color calibration thing, and, I don't feel like being without my laptop for a week or two just to fix that little kind of feature. It's been booting this whole time. Yes, we're not fixing that. We're fixing the touch bar. Hello, Oreo. Is that the UV pen?
Yeah, he likes.
Don't destroy it. No, stop that.
Not on his eyes.
No, you cut that shit. No, now you have to clean his ass.
No.
You're using a UV pen on my cat. Fuck off. Clean his ass.
He likes chasing after it.
Stop that. He doesn't know any better.
He likes chasing after
Stop that.
it. That's fine.
Oreo is with me. This board looks perfect. Paul Q. This may just need a new touch bar. Boring. Given the amount of time it takes to boot this thing up every time I want to just test it to see if the touch bar works again, I'll chop this board up to... This is what employees are for. Next. Simple Tech, who are you talking to? Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to try and figure out why it is this machine is not seeing the trackpad and the keyboard. Let's open it up and see what's going on with it. So they have their name and address and kind of stuff like that on the bottom of the machine. So I'm not going to show you the bottom of the machine. As I open it, you're going to be stuck looking at my ugly face. I've also run out of Paul magnets to steal. I have to find a new source of magnets. Oreo, where are the magnets? Oreo, I need a magnet. Oreo? Thank you. Clean the cat. Oreo wants his butt to be cleaned, and nobody wants to clean it. It's hard to be Oreo. Let's see what the trackpad connector looks like. Unplug the battery. Not corroded. Forget how the trackpad comes out of this machine. Is it this? I think it's these screws. I don't do basic, like the basic stuff. This stuff is all handled by other people. I got no time for disassembly, reassembly. Anything that can be done where you don't have to really figure out, there's no investigative work to it, gets done by somebody else here. So that we have time for all the pain in the ass stuff. So I have not actually done any of the basic parts or swaps on the newer machines. How is the laptop still on when you unplug the battery? It's not on. What's holding you in? Ah, you little bastard. Put the sticker over the last screw. Ew. Okay, let's see. So what does a trackpad look like? Let's see what the new trackpad looks like, because I haven't even seen this thing yet. Excuse me. And there you go. That is burned. Yeah. There's a lot more to burn on these ever since they had that, not haptic feedback, I forget what it is you call it. It's, yeah, that shit is, look at that. It's pure just carbon. I can't even lift this piece. Ever since they added that thing in 2015 where like when you touch it there's a little motor or something inside of it, the trackpad only can work when it's on. That seems to take more currents than just normal good old trackpad design. So that means more potential for this stuff. Damn. Yeah, look at that cable. No trackpad and keyboard, I wonder why. Well, luckily the board side is clean, so you just need a new trackpad and trackpad cable. Damn, this thing looks like shit. That's, yeah, there's really no brain work involved in this machine. This is basic, straightforward trackpad replacement. Just have to make sure they approve and then go ahead and do it. Force touch, that's the word. I really don't get how in the new era that we're in with social justice and feminism and hashtag Me Too, Apple thinks that it's a good idea to call one of their products Force Touch. Force Touch. Force Touch. Force Touch. Like, it's just fucking creepy. And it's weird because they place themselves as a socially conscious company, and I'm not a particularly socially conscious person in many regards, but even I if I were releasing a new product, if there's multiple things I could call, what were you going to call the new interface in your product? Force touch. Like, even I wouldn't do that, you know? I mean, if not just for the fact that it sounds dumb, even more than the social justice aspect of it, but I just find it weirdly weird and funny that they call it force touch. Speaking of force touch, have you cleaned Oreo's ass yet?
No.
Let's have a vote in chat. Should David have to clean Oreo's ass? We'll let chat vote. Oreo, are you dirty? Do you need cleaning? Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Okay, those cancel each other out. No, no, no. The no's seem to have it. Fuck, you win, you. Then who cleans Oreo's ass then? Somebody has to clean his ass. It's not me. I cleaned his ass earlier today. I don't want to clean it again.
He's just right here next to me, asking for attention.
Give him attention
I am.
with some disinfectant wipes. Level 14. Simple Tech, why do you say these things? Exactly. Where is Erica? It's not my cat. I would have tossed this fuck out a window 6 months ago. I should give him a shower in the bathroom with that thing under the sink.
No.
I think that'll teach him. That will teach him to clean his ass. I don't know. I don't know when she's back, John DeComo. I know I have a ceiling. What does that mean? How do you know? But what is the ceiling? All right. Next machine. Don't trip over the bike wire on your way out.
Just trying to finish this one.
Check your whisper. What is a whisper? Oh shit, people have been able to send me messages on Twitch for years that I haven't been reading. Fuck. Let's see what is in here. Okay, that's silly emoticons. Somebody with construction advice, back when I thought I had an actual budget. That's adorable. Spam. Someone asking if I'm awake with a winky face. What is this shit? So I'm thinking I'm going to edit the video of where people ask Paul why not a concrete floor. Should I edit it? Should I try to use DaVinci Resolve or should I continue with Vegas Pro 17? What do you all think? I will let you all vote. Do I try to use the new DaVinci or go back to the old, easy to use Vegas? I counter troll. Well, Vegas kept crashing when I would move tracks in ripple mode, and I got tired of it, so I started learning how to use DaVinci, but it's a real pain in the ass because there's a lot of little things about it that just make it a pain in the ass. And the problem there is that Vegas stopped crashing right after I installed DaVinci Resolve. It's like Vegas had crashed on me for 5 fucking years when I would edit clips in ripple mode in a certain way, and the moment that I switched to a different editor, it stopped crashing, which is horseshit. It's just painful. So, let's see. I'll let Twitch vote on it, because I don't usually put as much attention into Twitch chat as I do the others. Twitch, do I use Vegas or do I use DaVinci? I'm going to probably stream myself editing a video. If that isn't the most boring shit in the world. Okay, DaVinci it is. So I'm going to sign off on YouTube. I will keep this going on Twitch. And I will edit a video. I will see you all later. Unless you're on Twitch, of course, in which case you can watch.